And it's crazy because like I tend to always get hit on my ring finger, dude. And I tell my wife, I'm like, one day I'm gonna get cracked so many times that I'm gonna get a fracture in that fucking finger, man. Like I'm not gonna be able to move that shit no more. But yeah, man, it's I love the sport. It gets fucking crazy in my backyard, and yeah, man, it is
Nice.
good.
So what do you guys? So what was your first experience like? Did you go to a mil sim type, or just play outside, or did you speed soft first?
I did my first birthday. For my birthday, I did warped ops. So that was my first actual like chuck in with the sharks type of deep end shit. And I had fun. I was kicking ass with a $100 cheap rifle, and I was getting killed, man. And yeah, that was my first time. It was me and my son. It was our first time together. So yeah, it was fun, man.
That's cool.
I could relive that fucking day every day if I could, man. Yeah.
Now, what was the biggest event, or have you gone to any events in the last couple of years, like mil sim types, or some of those ones that you guys have out there, those fields?
As far as Milsim, funny thing, my first event was gonna be a Milsim event until we heard about the Tactical League Future event, which was slightly cheaper at the moment.
Yep.
And we're like, well, slightly cheaper. Let's wet our feet there and see what happens. Like an actual event and not just me going to play airsoft.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just amazing, dude. Like the connections I made with people, the the builds I got to see and play with. Like holy shit! Like some of these people are just amazing, all around badass fucking guys, man. Like and then running into veterans that been in war and shit like that, and they use this as an outlet, and that's one thing that I do want to say. Here in Rosamond, the homie has a small airsoft paintball shop called WW Airsoft and Paintball. Shout out to them here in Kern County, Rosamond. So whoever is up here in the high desert, there's a close spot right here next to you guys. Shout them out. It's WW Airsoft and Paintball. He has a shop here. I go there, help sometimes. He's a great guy. He just got a field out here too. The first field in Rosamond. Hopefully, they let us open that field. We're going through a couple of struggles with it right now with some paperwork, but hopefully it gets knocked out and done, and we'll have our first actual big fucking field in Rosamond.
Oh shit.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, little by little progress is being made, and things are coming. So yeah, they're
Awesome.
gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Good man. That's cool. So what do you got? What do you got planned for the rest of the year? Would you have any big events you want to go to, or have you wanted to go to any of like the Milsim West or any kind of shit like that?
Yeah, I do want to hopefully this year for the Fox Desert event, I believe the Fox Milsim event. I am aiming for that with the team. Hopefully, most of my dudes can make it. But that's the goal this year to have all 10 of my boys go over there and do some Milsim event and kind of wet our feet there too and see what that's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell
But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah, but as far as events, I've only done tactical league events, like those big events. But the one event that I've fallen in love with was the Shogun Soul Cow and the Airsoft Junkies, the Omnicron event. Oh my god, that thing was fucking heaven, dude. Like another day that I could relive over and over again, man. Like shout out to those guys for that event. That event was just cream, man. Like no words can explain that event. It was just fucking awesome. It
Yeah.
had its sounds, but dude, that thing all around was like perfect. I can't wait for the next one, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
Omnicron. I've got to go to the next one, man.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I love hearing about all these different events that you guys have out there. You guys have a lot out in that area. A
Yeah, dude,
lot of
it's a
stuff going on.
ton of fucking events around here, man.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it just sucks because all the events are like fucking 3, 4 hours away from me, man. I have to kind of pick and choose my events, dude. Like, yeah, it's I love it, but dude, that ride is killer.
Oh no shit, bro. Yeah. Well, California's so big, so it's so long. Like if you're zoomed down on the map and you go, oh yeah, look at all these different events going on. They're pretty close. You start zooming in and zooming in and zooming. Oh shit, that's like 5 hours away. Like,
Yeah. It's close when you start pinching the bitch and spreading it out. I was like,
uh
oh,
huh.
yeah, dude.
Right. Now,
All
what is
around.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, all around, when it comes to WCGF, my son is the face of the team.
Okay.
Which is kind of one of the reasons why we have numbers on our patches.
I was just going to ask you about. Yep, that's what I was going to ask you. What's your what's those patches there?
So he's number one. He's kind of the face of the team. I'm number two. I'm kind of the background, kind of, I make connections and work the inner workings of it. And then we go by ranks. So director was my third friend. So he's kind of like the third guy. He's kind of the third chief. And then as the numbers go all the way to 10, it kind of gets, everyone has their roles in the team, But for the most part, that's what the numbers are about, and yeah, that's how we kind of
came. That's good. Well, I mean, that's the thing, like, organization, having some kind of structure, and, it's most people that's better, right? That's how it works, better for the team. Some people I've talked to, a handful of people that they have teams and have had, different teams, whatever, for years, and they don't really have like a hierarchy, and or a chain of command. They kind of do, but not really, They just kind of leave it up to whatever, and that works for them. But most of the time, like, it's good to have some kind of, people want to know where they fit in, right? Like, what is my role? And right, and and if you're a good team, and everyone knows their strengths and weaknesses, it makes it a lot easier when, especially if they're not sensitive, right? You're like, hey man, you're not really good at this. You're good at this, okay? And they, as long as they can be mature enough to not be like, oh my god, I'm not good at that, like, fuck all that shit, bro.
You bring that up because that's one thing that I do talk to my team about is like, I love them guys, and they know that I'm very strict with them. And one thing I do always give them is strict criticism. I tell them, hey, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Don't take it bad. It's just me giving you constructive criticism. Work on your flaws, get better, and let's fucking kick ass together. Don't be a little bitch, man. Like, I'm your homie.
Exactly.
Like, I'm trying to see you grow. You feel me? But that's you sometimes dudes come in like that. And you kind of have to work around them and, rough them up a bit because, you can't be that fucking soft, man. Especially in this sport, you can't be that soft.
No, anytime I work with, different people, especially the younger generation, like recently I started working with this crew of guys. We're installing pools and swimming pools and stuff. And there's a couple of 18-year-olds are out there. And I give them hell the first day. And, and they know I'm joking around, but I'm kind of serious, And I'm like, God damn, you're slow as fuck, bro. You need to speed that shit up, okay? And, shit like that. And, so, yeah, it is good to give criticism when, people need to improve. And the thing is, you probably, the way you are, if you're like that with people, then you expect that in return or would like that in return. Like, you wouldn't mind that. Like, hey, tell me as well. Like, we all need a coach, And I'm always into self-improvement. I'm trying to whatever. Like, I would love when. That's why I always joke on this podcast. Sometimes I'm like, I don't really get that many negative comments, and I would like to, because because some of these people I've talked with, they have YouTube channels and stuff. They're like, yeah, I don't like these. I said something this way or whatever, and then somebody bashed me about this. I'm like, really? Dude, I wish somebody would bash me on here so I could learn, like, tell me something I'm doing bad. I don't know.
And my dad was a guerrilla warfighter back in El Salvador, so he was a very strict man.
Right.
When I spoke to him, I had to say sir, which is why I say sir a lot. And he was just a very tough guy, very tough dude. And I guess one of the reasons why I am the way I am too strict with people, because when I make friends with people, I tend to draw a line with people. Like, like we can fuck around and be buddies, but if you cross that line, like I'm going to be this type of person. So don't take it that wrong because you cross the line, But for the most part, I love everybody, dude. Like, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you,
Yeah.
And something that my grandma told me was, if you give me respect, I give you respect. You disrespect, I'm gonna disrespect you. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
Those are words I've always lived by ever since my grandma told me that shit.
For
But
sure,
for
man.
like I do love constructive criticism too. I do like people tell me, hey, if you do this just a little bit like that, you'll have a more chance of doing better at shooting, or practice doing this, or go sneak around that, or tuck in this way. Like I love that shit, because that's my mental like game, dude. Like I love it. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's how we grow, man. That's iron sharpens iron kind of thing, and that's it's a really good place to be in because you're always improving, and that spot where, especially with this, like this is a hobby, it's a sport, it's something you're not getting graded on, you're not getting it's not gonna affect any of like your job work or your business work or whatever. Like this is so you're not anxious about it, you're not under pressure about it. It's and so when you're in that mental state where you're enjoying it, and then you train with your buddies, and then they give you constructive criticism, you take it way better because you're actually in the mode to listen and learn, because you're not all freaking out about whatever, because it's hard to, I think a lot of people have a hard time learning shit at work because they're so nervous about everything else going on. And and this is in this environment where you guys can be harsh with each other. Like you work hard and you play hard, right? Like that's that saying's been around forever, and it's really true, because when you get a team together and you start kind of feeding off of each other to get better, there's it's a good environment to be in.
And then one thing I do love doing with my team is having field trips with them. I can't wait till Warped Ops gets built up again, because last year they were eaten up by a wildfire, and right now they're in the process of rebuilding a lot of their fields. But we have gone to their sister field, which was Ambush, wonderful field. They cater more to paintball, but they do have Sunday airsoft games. So Friday and Saturday and Sunday, it's all paintball, but they do have Sunday airsoft games here and there. But I do like to practice that with them, that teamwork, the call outs, that, hey, if three of us are looking this way, two of you need to be watching our flank, because I don't want the fucking guy to, mow us down in one fucking clip. Like, that sucks. Like, be sharp, be aware. If you're going to change corners, say, hey, I'm moving this way. Can someone, exchange with me in this corner and watch the six? Just little things like that, And I'm a big fan of watching YouTube videos when it comes to, like, tactical squad and stuff like that, the way they move and the way they talk and stuff like that. I have no military experience, okay? None at all. I'm just a kid, an adult that loves to play airsoft and dress up. But I do love to educate myself on the real life, operators out there. The way they talk and stuff like that. Like that's.
Well, you can learn a ton. You can learn a ton. Like, you don't have to be in the military to learn that stuff. You can watch all that stuff. People are learning so much, bro. I guarantee you, there's a lot of airsofters who's been doing it for a while that have learned some of those basics and tactics. They're just as good as the majority of military guys. Honestly,
I'm pretty sure, dude. Because in my backyard, at least 3 to 4 times out of the day, I'm back there shooting my targets and running around slinging BBs by myself. Shit. So yeah, man, practicing is all I do most of the time back here. I love it, man. It's not. What else is there to do around here? Man.
I talked to this dude in Japan. His Instagram is and YouTube is called Mayday-san, and so when I talked to him, I had seen his videos, some of his videos and his Instagram stuff, and I was like, bro, I gotta ask you, how the fuck do you get so fast at swapping mags? He's the fastest one I've seen with like M4 mags and shit. Okay, all different kinds. He practices with everything, shotgun, like. He showed his whole airsoft collection when we were, talking or whatever. But he said one thing, he wasn't in the military or anything, but what he did was he watched the animations on Call of Duty, like how they swap out, because I guess they made those like pretty realistic. And so he would just watch the gameplay videos and stuff, and he would just slow it down to see what they did and how fast they could swap out. And that's what he started doing. And I'm telling you, bro, if you go to his channel, you'll see He's got some of the fastest magazines, like, bro, swapping and.
Should check out Destiny Dynamic. She's
Oh,
a
really?
female airsofter. I believe it's Destiny Dynamic. She's an airsoft female. Oh my god, dude, this chick is flawless with her reloads, man. Like,
Really?
she is on some shit. Like, I'm pretty sure if you compare her with the guy you were just with the chick you were talking about,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god, dude, she is something else, man. Like, she practices hard every day with that shit. She's all about it. Destiny Dynamic, I believe that's what it's called. I don't know if that's what it is.
Destiny Dynamite?
No, but
No.
after video, dude, I'll tag you with her video.
Yeah. Send it to me.
It is insane. This chick is insane, man.
I gotta check that out.
And she does it in like cosplay. Like, she wears like nun outfits, demon outfits, cape.
What?
Like, she's doing it in like this badass like anime shit, right? Like, she looks like an anime character. And
Oh, that's cool.
Total badass. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing shit like that. Okay.
And I believe she has the Instagram too. So as soon as we go out, as soon as this is all over, I'll tag you with some shit, man. It's her stuff.
Yeah. Send it to me, because I'll definitely check these out. Because that, when I hear about something like the group earlier, me and that man, and then different channels and stuff that I haven't heard of. It's so wild how I've talked to all these different people and seen and followed their channels or their Instagram and seen all their different friends and stuff that they interact with, whoever comments on their stuff. And there's still so many like airsoft channels that I haven't heard of that I find out like this. I'm like, what? How did I not know?
Another one of my favorite YouTubers, well, a favorite YouTube sniper of mine is Kicking Mustang. I don't know if you heard of that guy.
Yeah, I had him on. I had him on twice.
Really? Oh shit! I gotta go find that. Oh, man.
Yeah, dude.
That is awesome. Yeah, very cool stuff.
Yeah, I had him on. I'll send you the link because it was last year. Oh man, I got dizzy.
I know. Sorry, man. Over here trying to charge my phone.
Oh no, it's cool, man. We're about to wrap up. We're good. It's so I'm in South Carolina, I'm on East Coast. It's not that late, but it's a Friday night. And bro, I was out in the sun all day yesterday and today. Installing pools. Yeah.
How hot is it down there right now?
Oh, right now? So this past week it was like 89, 93, 90. So it's been under 100, but the humidity, bro, holy shit. It was like in the 80% or whatever. So a couple days ago, I said, I was working outside and I told my wife and son, I said, I think, honestly, this is like Okinawa. I spent a year in Japan, and I was like, this feels exactly how Okinawa was almost the whole year I was there. It was just, besides monsoon season, and where it cooled off a little bit, but it just rained nonstop. But the humidity, it would be like 99 and like 90% humidity there.
That sounds like the humidity in Canada. Oh my god! I lived by a river, right? I lived by a river when I lived in Canada, in Saskatchewan. Holy shit, dude! It was horrible down there, and like around 90s summertime, dude. The humidity was bad. Like, I was sticky and wet 24/7, dude. Like, it was bad, man.
Shit,
At least up here in the high desert in California, now where I'm at, last week it got up to 110. It gets pretty fucking hot up here, but I'd rather deal with the heat than be sticky and fucking bro. No, that sucks.
Yeah, when
man.
it's that humid, you can hardly breathe. It's so heavy. The air is so thick. It's very difficult to breathe, like, compared to normal. But yeah, well, that was the thing we missed from being out in Cali was that kind of weather. Like, as soon as you get into the shade, you actually get some relief, right? You get out of the sun, you get some relief because the air is so crisp. It's not as humid.
For real, I mean, yeah, because even kind of going back to Canada, the air quality up there is so much more different than here. Like, when I first got there, it almost hurt my lungs to breathe because how fresh the air was when I was hitting into Canada. Like, wow. It's a whole different. It's just different, man. It's fucking different up there. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow. Okay.
If I was to move anywhere again, I would probably go back to Canada and move up there, man. Oh yeah.
Shit.
I love Canada. It's beautiful. I mean, I'm not a fan of their government and stuff, but view wise and people wise, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, I
So,
wonder why that is, man. You have some places that are really just beautiful to be at or look at and be around. You know, you got New York City. It's, totally opposite of that, but it's like still beautiful in some way and busy, and then you got California that's beautiful, and Canada, is beautiful terrain and geography, and then a lot of these places have just shit governors and just crappy mayors and like what like dude, like I
man,
would love to live there, but
yeah, and that's one thing that I kind of tell my boys too. Like when they're here, like let's try not to talk about politics or religion much
yeah,
because it gets touchy with people, and I
sure,
like to debate. That's my thing. I
me
don't like to
too,
argue. I like to debate. I like to present you with facts.
yep,
Don't come at me with, oh well, I heard. Well, that's not true. Present me
yep,
some facts. Well, you heard it. That's not true. But for the most
uh-huh,
part, and I do engage with stuff like that with my boys here. It never gets out of control. Like they know how I am.
yeah,
They know that if we get into a conversation like that, it's a quick question and it's dropped, and then let's go see more babies. But yeah, and talking about politics, I'm pretty sure you heard about that fucking restriction that they were gonna put on us about like 2 weeks ago, and luckily we got enough signatures to fucking battle that shit off, man.
yeah,
So shout out to all the airsofters out there that did their job, man, and did their part.
exactly, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely shout out to whoever promoted it and got the word out and that kind of thing, and then whoever participated in doing that, and then also um, not shout out to everyone if you did not participate in the previous elections over since you've been an adult. Okay, like I know, and I know that's a touchy thing too, because not really touchy as far as that goes, but it's more of like I know that there's this belief, and I'm the same way, that elections are rigged, and they maybe they don't matter. Like even if they're not rigged, the person that's in there really doesn't have that much control. So I understand this feeling of where, hey, my vote doesn't matter. Like it doesn't even matter whoever whatever we do. But I believe it really does matter if we have enough people involved. And I think that's where we dropped the ball. Years and years ago, we Americans got lazy, man. They got lazy. They really just kind of rode the coattails of all the success that America had from the hard work and people were involved in their communities. And so they were involved. They knew who was running for mayor. They knew who was right. They knew all these different people, and not just knew them from like television. They knew them like, hey, I know what this guy believes in and what he doesn't. So when he would talk, they knew how to call bullshit, and because they were involved. And we've gotten really lazy, right? And so parents got lazy. They didn't teach their kids, hey, this is important to be involved in. That doesn't mean you have to follow politics all the time. That gets, fuck that, okay? But that can be way too much. But you do have a responsibility as an American citizen to, part of your duty is to keep up with some of that stuff enough to know, make an educated decision and then show up on the day and cast your vote. Okay. And if I feel like the more we don't go, like if the more people that don't go, then the more they get away with. Okay.
oh yeah, hell yeah, of course.
Right. So if we have, 99% or let's say 90% turnout of registered voters that show up to vote, bro, that's a mass amount, because it's like the last presidential election was the highest turnout they've had in like 60 years, and it was like 54% or 58% across
Oh,
the
even
board, right?
people were voting.
Yeah, no shit. So, and
Of
then
the like,
and so if you look at state by state, look at how many people are registered to vote but don't go.
yeah,
And it's kind of a sad thing, because we're really just taking it for granted. So coming off of that, what you just said with the airsoft thing, that's not going to go away. That's a temporary fix right now. Like what happened? That's a temporary thing. It just went away, whatever. But there are forces out there. There's people out there that still are talking. There's conversation going on in that realm that is, hey, airsoft is not good for these teenagers coming up, because look all these videos, look at these cheater videos and all this kind of stuff. Look at it's a bad environment. It's that, and they're getting into guns. So there's always going to be this thing that's going to happen with the airsoft thing, like we've seen in other countries, if we don't start taking responsibility for what we're doing. So I've heard a couple guys say, hey, maybe we need to start a committee, like the real steel industry did. Y'all, I mean, that's whatever. I don't think it's necessary if we do our duty as American citizens and research and then show up and vote. So and vote. That's why I said earlier, when that thing came up, is if you love to play airsoft, make sure, I don't care about your politics. I don't care who you like, who you don't like, whatever, what side you're on, whatever. But if you want to continue playing airsoft, vote for people that support gun rights and gun freedoms, not the opposite. So,
I mean, but real shit. I mean, you preached it right. I mean, that's what has to be said. Like, if you're really a part of this community, then be a part of it and do your part. Don't just say, oh, you're gonna copy and paste someone else's hard work and then pretend that you fucking did something. Because then you're just hurting us. You're not doing anything for the community. You're just being a fake person. But yes, dude, like I agree and I concur to the max, man. Like that's just what it is, dude. Totally.
Oh yeah, man. Well, bro, it has been great talking with you. Well, let me ask you one more last thing. So, you're married. You have how many kids?
I have 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you guys. Okay, you're about caught up with us. That's what we had. 5 kids.
Eldest is in college. My 2 youngest are in middle school, and my youngest he's going to middle school soon, actually. So 3 in middle school and 2 middle school, 1 high school, 1 college. There you go.
Bro, y'all are. Yeah, you're busy. It's a different kind of busy. Like when they're all toddlers together, very young together. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of physical work because you got to, they can't really take care of themselves too much. But it's a different kind of work. It's more like drama work, right? Kind of dealing with all that kind of stuff when they're middle school and high school.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing, because the wife goes, "Want to have another kid?" As soon as she said that, I grabbed her a cat and I was like, "Here's a baby kitten." Like, no way, man. I'm good with the kids, bro. Let's just have more cats or dogs or some shit.
Oh, it's funny. I said, I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, yeah, we wanted, my wife and I, we originally wanted 6 kids when we first got married and we talked about it. We wanted 6 until we had number 4. And then we said, I said, no, we're done. And my wife's like, oh, so we had 3 boys and 1 girl. And she's like, oh, can we please try for a sister for Cassidy? And I was like, well, whatever. What's 1 more? Okay, it's 50-50 chance. Fuck it. So, so my youngest daughter, so we had a girl.
Oh, and,
beautiful. So we had a girl. It worked out. My youngest daughter was born in August, and I went not even 2 months later and I got fixed. I did, bro. I did.
Holy hell. And my girlfriend that too, man.
Dude, we were fertile, bro. I'm telling you, man. It was like we just thought about it, and she's pregnant, okay?
Yeah, cats, man. I'm okay with kids now. I'll do cats. Or a dog. I'm good with it. But, yeah.
Now, how did you guys meet, you and your wife?
So, we met at the Grove. I don't know if you heard of the Grove. It's kind of like an outdoor mall, kind of like the 3rd Street Promenade by I can't even remember. There's been so long since I've been to the city. Santa Monica, by the Santa Monica Pier, 3rd Street Promenade. It's kind of like that. It's called the Grove. But point being, I met her at a job where I was working at called Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
And I was a manager there. Had a whole team, guiding a whole team, folding clothes, putting things in order, stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I met her and been with her for 16 years now, man.
Damn, nice. Okay.
16 years, bro. Still going strong.
Awesome. Yeah, bro. Yeah, we my wife and I met in high school and got married, like I said, when I was in the military, and then Still been married. We had, it's not been easy. We've had some ups and downs, and
Of
we
course.
separated like 7 years ago, just for not even a full year. Figured out our shit, and then got back together, and it still ain't perfect. I mean, you know how life is.
Right? At least it's working, right?
It's
Somewhat.
working, man. Been together 30 years. Like we've been married 30 years. We started dating in '89, and then
7.
yeah, buddy, hell yeah. So yeah, I mean it's cool. We got like I said, our kids are growing and stuff, and we have. I mean, it's a lot of history, man. It's a lot of history. You know, been around. So
And your youngest one was 21.
yeah.
Right on, man. Is she going college or anything?
No, no. She did. All of our kids went through the career center stuff at through high school, and they. So my son, he actually took mechanics through high school, and then worked on cars for 2 years, and then all of a sudden hated it. He's like, I hate busting my knuckles on all this stuff. I hate wrenching all this shit. And he goes, when I buy a car, I want to make enough money to buy a new car, and I never have to touch it. Okay,
I have to
and
bust my hand.
and that's what he does. So he's actually like a foreman at this factory that's right down the road, and 9 to 5 job, Monday through Friday. Makes decent, great money for a single guy. Bought his own house last year, and that's our oldest one. And then and of course he doesn't date, right? He doesn't. My wife's always on him about, hey,
Yeah,
when you gonna get a girlfriend? You gonna get a girlfriend? What are you doing? She's tried to introduce him to a couple girls and stuff, and he's like, no, I don't have time for these women, man. They're all drama. They're all drama. And
dude.
so yeah, we were talking the other day. I said, have you heard about this new app or something? I guess it's called Passport Bros. And I said it's this new trend that a lot of the guys that are his age or whatever, they're they're having a hard time finding American women that are like, not woke and like just
Based,
traditional values, right?
based
And
traditional women.
right, and so he's like, so I told him about this thing, and they're getting so it connects you with all these women from overseas, so you can pick your country, Slovenia or whatever, so. And a lot of these women, and this is the whole point is that most of these women that are on there have traditional family values, right? The mom has a role, or the wife has a role, the husband has a role, those traditional roles, and so it's very attractive to these, later 20, the guys that are in their late 20s and stuff like that, early 30s here in America, and he's like, oh, I might think about that, but yeah, he's not. So my wife's always on him about that, but. My youngest son, he's married, has 2 kids. His wife's pregnant with their third, and she's due in like 15 days. So she's ready to pop. And that's our,
Baby.
yeah, buddy, that's our grandbaby. So, and then my daughter, she was in the Air Force for 4 years, and then got out, and her and her husband, they got married right after they got out of the military. He was in the Air Force as well. And then
Nice.
they moved. He got a job as an air traffic controller out in Utah. So they're out by Salt Lake City. He actually works at Salt Lake City Airport, and they have 2 kids. So we're actually going out there in a month. In fact, almost tomorrow it'll be a month that we're leaving, August 8th,
Work,
going out to Utah.
would it
Yeah,
be pleasure?
huh?
Would it be visiting for work or pleasure?
Oh no, we're going out to see them. Yeah, we're gonna stay for 10 days out there just to see them. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't travel for work.
Okay. I was about to say you traveling for work, all right?
No,
Right on.
yeah,
Yeah, my
go ahead.
go go.
Mm. No, we're going out there to hang out. So we're gonna go. My wife has been wanting to go to Moab out in Utah.
Moab.
Yeah, it's like
What is?
you know the big like red rocks kind of mountains and like hiking areas out there. There's this like place out there. It's got like a arch. The big it's a natural formation of the big red rocks out there. You'll see them
Okay.
in
Yeah.
pictures all the time and movies. Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
We're gonna go hiking out there because it's about 3 hours away from my daughter, and then we'll drive out, and so we're gonna stay out there for a little bit, and then go out and see her for about a week and hang out with the grandkids and stuff. So, but yeah, it's yeah, kids are all grown, man. They're good. They're none of them went to college. My daughter went in the Air Force. They all went to technical school through high school, and
Yes.
my youngest one is into she's a hairdresser. Whatever that beauty thing is, you know, she got certified, and she loves it. She does the nails, she does the hair, she does all kind of crazy stuff with hair, man. Like I don't know. I don't
And my oldest daughter, the one who's going to college, she's actually going in to be an embalmer. So
Whoa.
so my wife actually works at a mortuary, so she does a lot of that stuff too, you know, like
Yeah.
dress up people, bury them, plan people's funerals. She
Right.
does all that shit. So it's kind of like a family thing too. Her grandma does it, her aunts, her uncles. It's a
Yeah.
family thing. But yeah, our oldest daughter, she's going in to be an embalmer, and it's been a hell of a ride, dude. It's crazy. I give it up to her, man. Like
Yeah. No
that's all.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's funny you said that because my youngest daughter, she with this she just got an opportunity to do that. They needed
nice.
somebody to come in and do the makeup for you know, somebody had passed away or whatever at the morgue or wherever, you know, and then or at the funeral home, I guess. And so she went in and did the makeup thing for, you know, just before the viewing or the showing, you know, for the funeral. And so she was like, I was kind of creeped out at first, you know, um, but I got used to it. So, you know, it was a nice, it doesn't take long, you know, it's like 30 minutes, decent money. And the funeral home is really close to where she works. So she just got an opportunity to do that. She's like, they're trying to find somebody that's, you know, regular to come in there
Yeah,
and do that because they lost the last person, I guess. So um,
because
she
that
was like,
job is not,
yeah,
hey, man. That job is
yeah.
not for like the stories that my wife tells me. Whoo, holy shit, man. Like, yeah, that's something else, bro. Like 300-pound guy that she has to put into a, I don't know, something by something coffin. Like, oh, dude,
Oh,
she tells me some crazy fucking stories, bro.
damn.
Like the last story she told me that they found a guy that was roughly 300 pounds in his house, and he was rotting in his house. You know, like
Oh,
really popped from post mortem pop in his house, and they had to,
oh,
I guess, kind of cut like a hole out of the house and pick him up with like a fork. Oh, dude, it was fun. Yeah, her stories are crazy, man.
oh, that's crazy, bro.
Oh yeah. So I'm just waiting for my daughter to get into that mortuary stuff and
Uh,
hear her stories. You know.
yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's not a common thing. Like you don't really, not too many people know somebody from high school or whatever, you know, that works in that field. But we all know there has to be somebody working in that field. Like it's a needed position, you know?
And there's money to be made there, dude. Oh, there's money to be made there, you know. And that's what her mom is telling her. Like, hey, it's a never ever dying business, man. People are dying every day for that shit. You know, you're never gonna have not a job for you to do. Like, you
For
know.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, anything from, you know, birth to death, and anything in between as far as medical stuff. So people are always going to have accidents. Even if people are healthy and don't really have too many illnesses or whatever throughout their life, you still have hobby injuries, right? Somebody's, you know, like a sporting accident, you know.
Just take care.
Um,
You know,
the
there's dudes that
airsoft.
goes pop knees, rip
Oh,
ligaments. Holy shit! Like I have a torn ligament on my left knee, you know,
yeah.
and I have two operations from that left ligament. I left ligament. I have steel bars, screws in this bitch. Like, oh yeah,
Bro,
oh yeah, and I'm still
what
killing it.
did you do?
Oh yeah. But it took a while. I finished my therapy and all. I'm pretty much recovered, but it does strain me every once in a while, especially in the cold weather.
I'm sure.
But for the most part, I could run a good 6 hours until the pain starts really kicking in,
Mm,
and that's no meds, no painkillers. You know, that's all just adrenaline, man.
right.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I've always been lucky with my knees, man. My the weak thing on me was my ankle. Not weak thing, but you know, I always had problems with my ankles. But I got really lucky with my knees. I never had a knee injury. Um, I strained my back a couple times, pretty bad, but nothing real major. But I've sprained and broken each ankle a lot, a lot, and my nose. But I don't know what it, bro. My ankles and my nose. My nose has been broken like fucking 8 times. Okay,
Holy shit, that's crazy, man.
bro. I mean, well, it started in wrestling. So I wrestled in high school. I wrestled, played football, and played baseball. And
Yeah, I play
so,
football. Fuck
hell
yeah.
yeah, buddy. I was a middle linebacker.
Yeah,
Defense.
high school.
Yeah.
Running back and wide receiver.
Oh, shit. Nice. Hell yeah, man. Okay.
That for a good 10 years or so. A little less than that. Yeah. Did it off and
Yeah.
on. It was fun.
That's about what I did. I started in fourth grade and, played through high school. I didn't play after that, of course, military and stuff. And then, yeah, yeah. I always wanted to go, like, before I was real serious about going to the military, but my last 2 years in high school, man, I loved football. Like, I loved playing football. So much so that I was really wanting to, like, I was really considering, like, do I go to college and play, or still go in the military? And I was talking to my coaches and stuff about college ball. Now I grew up fast, as far as, like, I had a growth spurt. I was like 12, 13 years old. I was, the height I am now is 5'11", and but and I was really strong, like, as far as, training for football when I was in high school, but I wasn't big. I wasn't big. Well, I think too, I always wrestled, and so during wrestling season I'd cut weight.
Ah.
And wrestling, it's like right after football, and then so I'd come into football like really lean. And so for middle linebacker, I was like 167 pounds, 180 pounds, for 5'11". They're like, bro, you're gonna get smashed in college if you don't bulk up. I was like, fuck it, I want to go in the Marine Corps anyway. So
Because even when I first started playing football, was flag football, elementary, fourth grade. That's where I
yeah,
first started picking up. I was a borderline 200-pound fat kid. And when
really,
I got really heavy into that. Yeah, like I
yeah,
was really heavy set dude. And skateboarding and football was kind of my outlet to lose that weight.
yeah.
And through my summer, I did lose a lot of that weight because entering middle school, I started shaving off some of that weight and started getting thinner and thinner.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how I got into getting into a wide receiver and that borderline weight to where it was a lineback. So it was like this perfect mixture of, like, man, I could be defense and I could be, offense. So fuck yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Very
That's
cool
cool,
stuff.
man. Yeah, it's good foundation for, like, when you're on a team sport like that growing up. It really teaches you a lot about hard work, about the different dynamics with every all the different personalities on there, on your teams and stuff, and then feeling that satisfaction of, hey, you have this role, like, you play this position, okay, you got a job to do, right? You had one job, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't fuck it up. And but yeah, when it all comes together like a team sport like that, and you win, right, and everyone does pretty good, man, there's no better feeling.
It was fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Because your hard work and all that communication that you guys did paid off, man. And I love that. Like, it goes back to the team. It's something I like to strive with my team.
Yeah.
That communication, that brotherhood, that like that constructive criticism. Don't get angry. Take it as a step up and upgrade your game on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, dude,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
big. Especially like I said, my dad was a military guy. Like he
Yeah.
was a rough motherfucker with me. So I'm very uptight that way. But I preach love and all that shit too, man. Because it's life is too short to be fucking angry at everything, man.
Bro,
You
for
know. So,
real. Oh,
and it
absolutely.
you even faster, bro. So why even put up with that bullshit? You
Yeah,
know. Like
exactly.
we're all going through hell on different levels, but don't be a Debbie Downer, right? Like try
Yeah,
to be a
absolutely.
positive person and then try to be that positive person for that person that needs it.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's what it is.
Well, love is definitely a number one thing. That's the same thing with me, in my life. And it doesn't. A lot of people hear that and go, "Oh, it's all mushy and shit." Love isn't always mushy. Okay, like love is sometimes tough love. Like there, I can be. We could be hardcore. Like we could be at a metal concert, bro, and I still love you. Okay, but we're gonna
Yeah,
fucking knock heads. Okay.
fuck you. I mean, and even look at the movies, like just looking at war movies too. Like, what's a good one? Uh, Act of Valor.
Fury. Yeah, act of valor.
Like the teamwork, the way that movie carries itself with the team.
Yeah,
Like I love that movie. I love watching that movie religiously, man. Like the way those guys carry themselves, they're funny, but they're very strict, all around bold guys.
yeah,
Like they keep that level of professionalism, but they're still funny as shit. Like they have their moments
exactly.
in the movie. But yeah, like we got to be that way. You just can't be pissed all the time, man. You got to be happy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, for
Like, you don't
sure.
want that energy either. I'm big on energy. I love vibing off of people's energy. So
Yep.
I'm the type of person that I come into a room and I'm gonna put a smile on and try to vibe off of people's energy.
Uh
Like
huh.
and even if you're the awkward person, I'm gonna make eye contact with you and talk to you so you feel like you're a part of the fucking group and not like, oh, everybody knows each other, but I don't know anyone and no one's making eye contact with me. But I'm that, like, no, I'll make eye contact with you, invite you in the conversation. I don't know you, but at
Yeah,
least I make a part of the group. You feel me? Well,
absolutely.
I'm,
Now
I'm big.
you talking about your dad and stuff. Is he still around?
Yes, sir. He actually went back to Salvador. That's where he
Okay.
resides. Yeah, and like I think he's working as an electrician too. A lot of my family, they're electricians. I never really
Oh,
got
that's
into
good.
being an electrician. I know electrician stuff, but I never got around to being it. So, like I said, I'm a musician, man. I love music. That's
Right.
my airsoft and music. So yeah.
Is he still a part of your? Does he know you play airsoft? And is he part of your kids' lives? Like your kids know him, and you get
Yeah, my son and everyone talks to him. Yeah, haven't
uh,
spoken to him for about a year now, but
yeah.
I heard through my mom that he's good. He's doing good, and he got into a bike accident, like a motorcycle accident. So I hope he's doing good. I haven't got a chance to call him at the hospital, but
Yeah.
I hope he's doing okay. Yeah.
Good, man. Yeah, my dad and I, we were close. We always butted heads, like when I was a teenager and stuff. Then I went in the military, and then he was, actually when I left for the military, he was kind of pissed off at me. And then, but then on graduation day, when I graduated boot camp, bro, he was, my whole family was there and stuff, and he was like, that's the proudest he's been and all that kind of thing. And then after I got in the military, we were really close. When I got married, actually, he was my best man in my wedding. So
Oh,
yeah, I had him as my best man. And then after that, we butted heads here and there. He was killed in an accident, and right before he was killed, we were kind of like at odds with each other. And so it bothered me
yeah.
for a long time. Yeah, it bothered me for a
Sorry.
long time. But it was like one of those things like we never really held stuff against each other. Like we're the kind of person, like probably like you and I too. Similar personality types where we can be angry with each other and yell at each other. And as somebody watching us, if somebody was on the outside, they might think, "Holy shit, they're really angry with each other." It was we're going to sound worse than it is, but because we're both yell at each other and shit. But it really wasn't that bad. It was just like whatever, because 2 minutes later we're hugging it out. It's good. We're all good. It's no big deal. But yeah, we were kind of at odds when he passed away, and so a tree fell on him in his driveway. It was a big storm, 80-foot oak tree, and so very sudden, and it bothered me for so long, bro. But
God.
yeah, and my mom was like, "Honey, he never," because my mom and dad were married for like 42 years before he got in the accident. So, well, then she's like, he never talked about it. He didn't, like it wasn't like you guys were. I was like, I know, but I never really got to say. I didn't see him like the day before or nothing. You know what I mean? So I always felt like I missed something there. But um, yeah, it was. He was always a really big part of our kids' lives. Before that. So it's really it was good.
Because my grandma, when she passed away not too long ago too, uh, it was tough, man, because she was pretty much the glue of the family. You know,
Mm.
like she kept everything together. And ever since she passed away, is like everybody in my family are still cool with each other, but we don't talk to each other or connect the way we used to connect. You know, like she was the centerpiece of the family, and ever since she's gone, is like that's we're all family, but we just don't vibe the way we used to. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's tough getting. It's still tough getting used to that idea, man. And yeah, man, I
That's how
feel
my
where you're
dad
coming.
was. Now that you say that, yeah, that's exactly my dad was that same way. In fact, that's one of the reasons we moved down to South Carolina. Now, it wasn't part of that, but it was the our family kind of just drifted a little bit, and we were all kind of dealing with that kind of stuff in our own way. And then, the sudden loss, I guess. Yeah, I have two sisters, and my mom are still up. They're all three up, still up in Ohio, and my two sisters are married, have kids and stuff. And we still talk with all of them and everything. I talk to my mom regular and everything, but yeah, the same thing happened. We all kind of drifted apart a little bit after my dad passed away. It was and never really got that back.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
it's because I'm very big on family. Like I'm family
yeah.
oriented. If you talk to any of my boys from my clan, they know how humble and loving I am with these motherfuckers. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just a big fucking brother to them. But like they're all young guys. All of my dudes are young. There's only two guys in my team that are 56 and 65. Like those are only
Oh
two
shit.
older dudes.
Yeah.
And those are the dudes that actually own the airsoft shop that I was telling you guys about. But most
Yeah.
of my dudes are like college teenagers. The youngest one in my team is probably 15, 16 now. He just turned
Yeah.
16. So yeah, it's a big deal, man. Like, and
Right.
mostly they I'm kind of like the getaway from the house. Like when they come here, like everything kind of just melts, right? And so
Hmm.
it's kind of like that haven for them when they come here to just slip away and get that fucking package off their back. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm very big on love like that when it comes to with my
For
boys and
sure.
deserving people. Like the Shogun boys. Like holy shit, man, they got my heart in their hands, bro. Like I love those
Yeah.
guys and every other person that I met through them. Very loving people, dude. I love those guys, man.
That's
I
awesome,
don't
man.
guys right now. Yeah, dude, they're a big part of my life, man.
Yeah, you're doing what your grandma did, with your family. You're kind of doing that, same thing. You're the glue with all your guys, in
Yeah,
that
dude.
group. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Sometimes, some of us like a video that Poet just posted a couple of hours ago about depression. A lot of us are going through it, not heavily, but some of us are. Some of us are
Sure.
not. Some of us heavier than others. And sometimes getting together with the boys just kind of takes that away.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that moment releases whatever tension you're having. Like the most time I'm happy is with my boys. I love
Yeah.
my wife and everything, but my happy time is slinging BBs with my boys in my backyard and fucking laughing and talking shit to each other and doing what we do as guys. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, listen, man, it's been great talking with you. Great to meet you. I'm looking forward to having the next time we do this, like in a few months. I want to have you and maybe a few of your teammates on here as well.
I'll have a director and I'll probably have Icarus. For the most part, we're the three main heads right now.
Yeah.
My son, he's busy with work a lot, so he's kind of put airsoft to the side and kind of is focusing on his stuff right now.
Sure.
But I'm taking full throttle on this right now, full time airsoft with the team and everything that's happening. But yeah, most definitely, man. Thank you so much. I make sure that I'll let my boys know.
Absolutely. Well, tell everybody where they can find you and all your stuff online, videos.
Find me on IG, on Instagram, Airsoft Ritual, call sign Airsoft Ritual. My YouTube channel is Dad versus Son Airsoft WCGF, and I did have a TikTok, but I got banned from there. TikTok is so oh my god, dude, fuck TikTok, man. I had like 2,000 plus followers on that shit, and it all just went away, man. But those are about the two threads that I have at the moment until they let me back into fucking TikTok. Yeah, thank you
That's
so
a. I'm laughing because that's a common. That's a common story, man. Everyone I talk to, they're like, I just can't figure it out, bro. Like they're like, I try, I can't figure it out what their thing is because some things they ban and some things they don't. And I just don't. And then all of a sudden I'll get a bunch of followers and then they just cancel me. And
And I'll finish with this. Like, the one thing I don't understand about TikTok is that I've ran into dark videos where like there's 15, 16, 17-year-old little gangster kids pointing real guns at the fucking camera, right? But yet I have a rifle with the fucking orange nozzle with it, letting the viewers know that it's an airsoft gun, and I'm like completely fucking banned for like a month. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah.
why can't I do it to those little bastards with real guns, little gangster fucks? I don't know, man. But man, I'm done with TikTok, bro. But thank you, sir, for having me on this. I've had a blast talking to you.
Yeah.
It's been
man. Thank you so much, brother. All right. You guys have a good night.
Cheers.
You too, buddy. Bye bye.